Hello. So I saw a post this weekend on social media about human grade meat in cat and dog food, and the post was inferring that maybe other pet food companies don't use human grade meat. Technically, there's no actual definition for human grade in the UK. It tends to be a statement that comes from America. We don't use it as much, but it is creeping into some of the pet food companies over here now. But it doesn't really mean that much here, and that's because if your food is UK made and if it's using UK meat, then all that meat from pet food comes from its surplus to the human food chain. So actually, in that human food chain, before it's split off for pet food, all of that meat is checked. It goes under veterinary inspection and it's checked to make sure that there's no diseased animals going into it, no decay, no issues with the meat at all. So actually, all of that meat is technically safe and fit for human consumption. So, as it were, human grade. Um, it then goes into the pet food industry, and obviously, once it's processed into a food, that would be classed as not fit for human consumption, but it is, of course, safe for our animals. The second part of that social media post said that they removed the good parts of the meat for their food, and then the rest went to the less fussy pet food companies. But we need to look at this in a different way. So the first way is if you're only taking off certain parts of the meat, for example, if it's poultry like turkey or chicken and you're only taking off breast meat, then you're missing out on a lot of nutrients. So, for example, all the offal, like the organs, the heart, the liver, the kidneys, are really rich sources of certain minerals, including things like iron, zinc, magnesium. And you've got lots of other meat on the carcass that are full of nutrients. If you're not using those, then you may have to actually add a vitamin and mineral mix to the pet food to make sure that it is a balanced recipe. So I don't think only using the sort of those sorts of parts is necessarily a good claim. Secondly, there's a environmental and sustainability issue with that, because if we only take off the good parts and we throw away the rest of the carcass, then it's a huge waste. And if it's going to landfill, obviously, that's a lot of waste in landfill. It's a lot of bacteria it gives off as it starts to decay, which can affect the environment. So really, to be sustainable, we should be using the whole animal, as much of the animal as possible. So I hope that helps and has cleared up really that meat in UK pet food, if it's UK meat, is all safe and fit for human consumption at that point before it gets made into a processed pet food. So they're not using any diseased or decaying meat in UK dog and cat food.